In 1901, divers pulled a shapeless lump of corroded bronze from an ancient shipwreck. For 50 years, almost no one understood what they were holding, because hidden inside that lump was a machine that should not exist, a device built from dozens of interlocking gears, a device that could follow the sun, the moon, and the planets across the sky, a device that could predict eclipses years before they happened. It was made more than 2,000 years ago, and nothing else like it would appear anywhere on Earth for another 1,000 years. This is the story of what may be the world's first computer. It began with a storm. Around the year 1900, a crew of Greek sponge divers was making the long journey home when rough seas forced them to shelter beside a tiny, wind-bitten island called Antikythera. When the water finally calmed, they dove, and 40 meters down, in the dark, they found a graveyard. Bronze arms, marble faces, coins, jewelry, and glass scattered across the seabed. They had stumbled onto the wreck of an ancient ship that had sunk while carrying a fortune across the Mediterranean. Recovering it was dangerous work. Divers in heavy suits descended again and again into depths that could cripple or kill. And among the statues and treasure, they brought up something that looked like nothing at all, a battered piece of bronze and rotted wood, swallowed by 2,000 years of sea. It was shipped to a museum in Athens and quietly set aside. Then, in 1902, an archaeologist looked closer, and in the broken surface of that lump, he saw something that did not belong in the ancient world: a gear, with teeth cut by hand to mesh with another. A gear meant precision, it meant engineering, it meant this was not decoration, it was a machine. But that made no sense. The history books were clear. Gearwork this fine was not supposed to exist until medieval Europe, more than 1,000 years later. So the object waited, half a riddle, for most of a century. Scholars argued over it. Some called it an ancient astronomical toy. Others insisted it was simply too advanced to be real, that it must have slipped into the wreck from some later age. The answer was sealed inside the corrosion, where no eye could follow. To read a machine you cannot open, you have to see through it. In the 1950s, a scientist named Derek de Solla Price began studying the fragments with X-rays. He traced the ghostly shapes of hidden gears and made a daring claim that this was a kind of calendar computer. Many doubted him. Decades later, a team of researchers went further than anyone had dared. They built a 12-ton X-ray machine and carried it to the museum, just to look inside a box the size of a shoebox. The scans peeled the object apart, layer by layer, revealing what no living person had ever seen. Not a handful of gears, at least 30 of them, nested together. And something more. Thousands of tiny letters engraved across the bronze. An instruction manual written for a user 2,000 years dead. At last, the machine could speak. And what it said rewrote our picture of the ancient world. On the front face was a model of the heavens. Turn a small hand crank, and the gears came alive, sweeping pointers across a dial ringed with the zodiac. They marked the place of the sun and the moon, and of the 5 planets known to the ancients: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. A little sphere even turned to show the phase of the moon, black to bright and back again. And the gears were arranged with breathtaking cunning. They imitated the way the moon races ahead and then slows along its orbit, a subtle motion it would take astronomers many more centuries to fully explain. On the back were 2 great spirals. One followed a 19-year rhythm that kept the human calendar locked to the sky. The other was a machine for predicting darkness, winding through 223 months, marking the very seasons when the sun or moon might be swallowed by an eclipse. And beside them sat a quieter dial one that simply counted down the 4-year cycle of the great games, including the Olympics. The motion of the planets and the date of a foot race, turning on the very same gears. The cosmos and ordinary human life bound together in bronze. You turned a handle and held the universe in your hand. So who built such a thing? Even now we cannot say for certain, but the machine left clues. The names of the months engraved on its dials trace back to Corinth and its colonies, among them Syracuse, on the island of Sicily. And Syracuse was the home of one of the most brilliant minds the ancient world ever produced, Archimedes. Ancient writers tell us he built mechanical models that mirrored the movement of the heavens. The Antikythera Mechanism may be a distant descendant of that work, a lone survivor of a tradition of genius we can no longer fully trace. But here's the part that should unsettle you. A machine this refined is never a first attempt. Behind it must lie others' earlier designs, teachers, workshops, a whole lineage of knowledge. And almost all of it is gone, vanished without a trace. Then the ancient world turned. Empires fell, workshops went dark, the knowledge scattered and dissolved. And for more than 1,000 years, no one on Earth built anything close to this again. Humanity didn't simply lose a device, it forgot how to make one. We like to imagine progress as a straight line, always rising, never falling. This single corroded box, dragged up from the seafloor, is proof that it isn't. Knowledge can be built, and knowledge can be lost. Only about 1/3 of the mechanism survived the sea. The rest is still missing somewhere in the dark, or gone forever. Which leaves one last, quiet question. If a civilization could build this and then forget it, what else has the world simply forgotten? The past was stranger and far more brilliant than we were ever taught. If that makes you curious about how the world really works, visit our channel for more stories like this.